Welcome to Easy Meaty Meals. I'm Emily C. Bunrung, and today I'm going to show you how to smoke a pork leg. A few days ago, we just went to go pick up our whole hog from the butcher. It's pasture raised from Covenant Pastures. This is my second time getting a whole hog, but I'm super stoked this time because they raised Berkshire Heritage breed, which is known for its red color and incredible marbling. So I'm really excited to get a tasting. This recipe is so simple. We're gonna be cooking it low and slow, which is going to allow the collagen to break down and get the meat really tender. All you're gonna need is an 11 to 12 pound of pork leg. We're gonna open it up. This is how it comes from the butcher. I actually was able to watch the butcher and get a little butchering action myself on the pork. So he plastic wrapped it and then wrapped it in waxed butcher paper. We're gonna pat it dry. Okay, so you can see here, there's a beautiful fat cap, and it's also bone in. I like keeping the bone in. At the butcher, it's actually an option if I wanted to take the bone out. But what I like about meat that has a bone in it is it stays flavorful and moist, and it's just better that way. So the first thing we're going to do is score the fat. So I'm just going to, if you want to get close, we're going to score the fat all the way down to the meat. So pretty deep, and we're just going to keep going like an inch apart. So the pork is sliding a little bit, so I'm just going to place my paper towel that I patted the pork dry with underneath here so it doesn't slide, just so we're a little safer. Okay. So where were we? Right here. And you're gonna see after this is done why we score it. Make sure you're really getting all the way down to the meat, cutting through all of the fat. And now we're gonna go across. So we're finishing up the last score. So you can see, now they're like little squares. We're gonna keep the seasoning super simple. We're just gonna use some Redmond real salt, unrefined sea salt, which I love. I'm just going to deliberately coat the pork leg. I wanna get the salt in the crevices. Okay, I'm just gonna get the other side. Still a little wet here. Get it all nice and coated. Okay, so there you go. Now we're gonna head outside. I'm gonna show you my smoker. So this is the smoker I'm gonna be using. It's the Camp Chef Pellet smoker and grill. I love it so much. It's like my 10th time using it. I've had it only for like 6 months now. I've got the pellet smoker preheated. As you can see here, it's on high smoke at 220 degrees. It shows the internal temperature, so right now inside it's 217 degrees. Anytime you're smoking anything, you have to make sure that the hopper is full of pellets, because I almost set the thing, it was on fire because it was empty and I messed up troubleshooting. Okay, so have a look. So it looks like I need I'm gonna fill it up to the top because we're gonna be smoking for a pretty long time. I've got some apple pellets here. I'm just gonna dump it in. Don't inhale the stuff. Good thing I ordered more. So I've got the pellets in there. Now we're gonna open this up. Ow! Before I put the pork leg on, I'm going to clean my grill. You can see here, we've got some gunk. I'm gonna be using my Grill Art brush and scraper. I actually just got this, I used it once. I'm actually going to make a review video on it to see if I like it after I use it a few more times. So we're just gonna clean it up here. Oops, I'm gonna dip it a little bit in water. I do like it so far because of the angle. Oh, I forgot to drip. I'm gonna put a baking sheet underneath to catch all the grease that's going to be dripping. It's just an easier way to clean up instead of having it drip down there and then into the little thing. So I like having a sheet right under there. Now we're going to put the pork leg in the smoker, right on there. Make sure the pan is right under. And then I'm going to be putting a temperature probe. The cool thing about the Camp Chef is that it comes with 2 temperature probes. So what I'm going to do is just stick it through this little hole and then into the pork leg. What you don't want to do is make it hit the bone. So you have to watch out. Just put it right into the meat, the meaty part. Okay, we're gonna close that up. And we can take a picture after. Oh, hold on. It's a little fat. So I'm gonna have to stick it in a little further. And I'm gonna make sure here. So you can either put it in the Y or the X probe. So if you had 2 meats going on, you would have it in both. I'm just gonna put it in the Y, it doesn't matter which one. And then you can actually see if you click probe temp, what the temperature is inside. So right now we kept the smoker on, we kept the smoker open for a while, that's why it says 150, but it'll go back up. So we're gonna close it up. Now we're just going to wait until the temperature probe says 160 degrees. So it's been about 4.5 hours since we put the pork leg in the smoker. Right now the probe says the temperature, the internal temperature of the pork leg is about 119 degrees. We're waiting for it to reach 160. You can see here. Beautiful pork leg, beautiful color. You can see a little bit of the fat has dripped on the baking sheet. You can see here, this is the internal temperature of the smoker. I just opened it so the temperature went down a little bit. And then if you click here, X is one probe, we're on the Y probe here, it's 119 degrees. So we're getting close. And if you open up the hopper, the wood pellets have gone down. We started at about here, so it's gone down about 1.5 inches. We're gonna check in on it until it reaches 160 degrees. So it's been about 7 hours and the internal temperature of the pork leg reached to 157 degrees. That's pretty close to 160 for me. So I took it out. It's already almost 10 p.m. You can see on the pork leg, the fat has beautifully browned and the juices are coming out. Having fat on meat really keeps the meat moist. You can also see the way I scored. I mean, here got a little deep, but this is why we got these squares. You can actually get this crispier by popping it in the oven, putting it on broil for a few minutes and getting it much more crispy. But for now, we're gonna taste it. The pork smells so good. I love the red coloring on it. I can't wait to taste this Berkshire Heritage pig. Look at that. Ooh, that is so perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on my plate here. I'm gonna taste a little bit of the leaner part of the meat and then get a little part of the fatty part. The meat is so tender and so flavorful. Like, salt was perfect with that. It's not dry at all. I'm gonna try a little bit of the meat with the fat cap. It's a big bite. The fat just melts in my mouth. It has so much flavor. It's so good. Eating pork is another great way for me to add variety to my meals. This recipe is so easy. All it takes is a fresh pasture-raised pork leg, some Redmond real salt, throw it in the smoker for about 7 hours until it reaches to an internal temperature of about 160 degrees, and then you'll have food for the rest of the week. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Happy eating!